Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and today's video is going to be part of the self-development series inspired by the planets that we are doing here on the channel. And today's reading is inspired by the planet Jupiter. We're going to be looking into where you all will be receiving growth, expansion, and abundance heading into the near future. Now, for any of you that are not familiar with the planet Jupiter and what it stands for in terms of astrology, in general, Jupiter is a planet that brings in growth, expansion, kind of broader understanding of an area of life. It can also be a really lucky planet, bringing in a lot of luck, optimism, and abundance. So those could all be kind of themes that are peppered in throughout the reading today. Jupiter is also the ruler of Sagittarius. So some Sagittarian themes can include things like philosophy, religion, spirituality, higher education, even foreign travel or just travel in general. So those themes could be peppered in throughout the reading as well. This is not an astrology reading though. It's just kind of a reading that's inspired by Jupiter and kind of those themes of growth, expansion, and abundance for today's purposes. If you guys were curious, you could also look at your own natal chart to understand how Jupiter impacts you personally. We do also have a big Jupiter transit coming up in May of 2024 where Jupiter will be transiting the sign of Gemini. So you could also check your birth chart to understand how that planet may specifically be impacting you and your personal energies. Hopefully that was helpful. Let's get into our disclaimers. So keep in mind, guys, this is a general reading. So some messages may apply quite specifically and accurately to you and your situation. Others of the messages may not. So if it doesn't feel like it fits your situation, simply just release it and let it go. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can book one with me will be linked in the description box down below. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our pile selection. We do have a choice between 3 different readings today for our topic. For pile 1, we're going to be working with this pink Himalayan salt. For pile 2, we have this Amazonite. And for pile 3, we have this really beautiful Pyrite cluster. So I would love for you guys to take a deep breath. Go ahead and select the crystal or the pile that feels the most connected to you or that you feel the most connected to. Once you made your choice, scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will take you to your selected reading. I'll see you there. Hey pile 1, and welcome to your reading. So today we're looking into what area of life you are growing, expanding, what abundance is coming through in this area as the energy stands today, inspired by the planet Jupiter. I forgot to mention this in the intro, but today we're also going to be working with charms and dice. Make sure you guys stay till the end because we'll be doing that toward the ending of your reading. It will be time-stamped as well, so if you want to skip ahead to that part, you can feel free to do so. All right, pile 1, let's jump right in and see what we're working with here. So starting us off, we have the energy of the Knight of Inspiration, which is the Knight of Wands. We also have the energy of Strength. Ooh, and then we have the energy of Capricorn coming up. All right, pile 1. So where are you growing? Where are you expanding? Where are you the most abundant through this growth? With Capricorn coming up, this feels like something that could be potentially related to work or something that you're really putting a lot of hard work and effort into over a prolonged period of time. And it's a really interesting contrast here because we have this like fiery energy coming up with the Knight of Wands and the Strength card, but then we have this like juxtaposition of this really grounded energy of Capricorn, which is all about the long haul, right? Cards like the Knight of Wands can be more about like that instant gratification, that instant burst of energy. But Capricorn is about like slow and steady wins the race, practical, tangible effort moving forward. I do feel for a lot of my Pile 1 viewers, there's something here with the Knight of Wands coming through for you that's incredibly exciting in your life as it pertains to work and achievements or something that you're feeling ambitious around. Knight of Wands, I'm really being drawn to this firework in the background. Like there's something in your life that I feel you're really excited about, something that you're very passionate about, and it's something that is worth celebrating in your life. It's some sort of big achievement that I see coming through for you. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this could be an energy of learning, like having learned over a period of time how to really put in that hard work and effort for the long haul versus focusing on instant gratification. And that Knight of Wands is this like celebratory energy that I see coming through for you. But for others, this could be like a new path. This could be like a new path that you're just starting off on, where we have this understanding that it's something that's going to be our legacy. It's something that's going to be a framework of stability in our lives for the long haul. And so with the Strength energy, this is kind of about learning to kind of tame that beast. It's learning to kind of tame this impulsive energy of the Knight of Wands. We still have it here. We still have that fire, that passion, that drive, that excitement for what we're doing. But the Strength card with Capricorn coming up is telling me that this area that you're growing and expanding in has to do with like almost like maturity in a sense, where we're learning to temper and restrain impulses, right? I also get kind of leadership vibes, or like the vibe of you guys being kind of the center point or the focal point in some way with regard to the situation. So let's continue Pile 1 and just see what else you all need to know. So for Pile 1, where are they growing and expanding? What areas of life is this talking about? Blessings and abundance. What do they need to know? Where is Pile 1 growing and expanding? Ooh, okay. We have the Temple Path coming up. Very spiritual energy there. Ooh, we also have the Woman Holding a Heart. This is definitely feeling like something that you guys love, right? Something that you love to do, because the Woman Holding a Heart is all about a person who is following their heart, a person who is the epitome of love. Okay. The Temple Path is really interesting because this is telling me that this area that you all are really ambitious in, this area that you're really motivated and excited about with your work, your career, this is all part of the plan, because the Temple Path sort of talks about being on our spiritual journey. And if we take a look here at these little orbs, these orbs signify like your ancestors, your spirit guides that are there kind of alongside you, guiding you and supporting you along your path and along this journey. I think especially if for this group you have been seeing little orbs, that could be a clue that this message is for you. Lots of this energy, especially with the fireworks and the orbs, of light. So maybe even fireworks or some sort of unique type of lighting could be significant in terms of like a more spiritual sign or message for Pile number 1. But yeah, you guys are definitely really connected to your ancestors. You're really connected to this higher purpose through the action that you're taking now, and through this achievement, this goal that you are working towards. So let's see what else for Pile 1. Where is Pile 1 growing and expanding? What areas are the most abundant for them? We have use your time well. Make every moment count. This is interesting because there's like this energy of with the Knight of Wands, wanting to move quickly. But then again, like I was saying earlier, we also have this energy of tempering impulsivity, right? I think that this card is really confirming that you guys are expanding and growing in the sense that you are learning how to be more intentional with the way that you plan and spend your time on whatever this is. Because again, the Knight of Wands, we need that energy, right? Because this is like that life force energy that gets us going, that gets us inspired. It's like our passion, our drive, our excitement. But again, this can also be a very like scattered energy of just kind of like being all over the place or being pulled in a certain direction only to get distracted by something else that seems really exciting later. So with that Strength card and using your time well, this is about, again, it's like I keep thinking of the long haul and thinking about how to best temper that passion, still use that passion and that excitement, but now you're being more intentional with how you're channeling that passion so that you don't get burnt out, you don't get distracted, that you can continue to progress for the long haul toward your goals. Definitely feels for this group that this is something to do with work. I'm also getting this is something creative. For a lot of you, that could be like a creative hobby, a creative type of job. That is something that you want to do for the long term here. Okay, so let's continue. What else for pile 1? Where are they growing and expanding? Sapphire, regenerate your body. Ooh, okay. What else? Kind of a side message I'm getting with that. We also have Ruby, rejuvenate your body. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Both messages. And this card talks about learning to scan your body. So it's kind of interesting because I also think for some of you guys that are watching this, there could be like an alternate message here about like your physical stamina coming through, right? Because I'm getting for a lot of you guys that this is about like a career thing or something to do with your future. Because Capricorn is very career. It's very money. It's very like grounded, right? Like it's that ambitious sort of energy. But I think for a lot of you guys, you are realizing in your growth that this pace of the Knight of Wands, this rushing around, I think it burns you out, right? So I feel like both of these cards are really just confirming what we've already been saying, that like you all are learning how to better like listen to your body, listen, to what your body is trying to tell you, and learning to kind of pull back and rein it in so that you don't burn yourselves out. But I do think there could be for some of you guys like a specific sort of health related issue, or just like this is not medical advice or a health reading per se, but there could be something about just your physical wellness or your mental wellness that these cards are referring to as well. You will know if that message is meant for you. But blue and red, regenerate your body and rejuvenate your body. It's interesting too because I feel like sapphires and rubies, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I remember learning that on the Mohs scale of hardness that these are like some of the harder minerals, right? Meaning that they're not as easily scratched as some other types of minerals that, like for instance, an opal can be very easily scratched or dented by a harder mineral, right? These are supposed to be really resilient sort of minerals that hold up, which is I think why they use them in a lot of jewelry, maybe. Well, they also look pretty, but I think the idea is that like they're harder to beat them up through like the wear and tear of every day. So I kind of say all of that to say that there is also something here about you all learning different practices to, I guess, toughen yourselves up or strengthen yourselves with the Strength card in terms of your own physical well-being and your stamina as it's connected to your goals that you're looking to achieve here. So let's pull a couple of these, and that will conclude the cards, and then we're going to transition into the charm board to see what other details we may need to get there. Okay. All else do they need to know? What area are they experiencing growth and abundance in as the energy stands today? Magical powers. I weave and clear, I cast and know, magic secrets to me now show. Yeah, there's like definitely this energy of knowing your power and manifesting. I feel like you guys are coming into this reading like with some sort of really, really well thought out plan, right? With Capricorn, all driven by this excitement, this passion, this vitality that you have for something in your life. That magical powers energy, it's all about manifestation, right? It's about knowing your power and knowing that you have the tools and skills that you need to create your desired outcome. We also have health. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. We have health. Mother Earth sweet, Mother Earth bright, bring to me your health and might. So yeah, for some of you guys, this does have to do with your physical health or just health and wellness in general. We have strength here coming up again. So like with the sapphire, the ruby, the strength card, all of these energies of strength, repeating message coming through. Strength, stability in this hour, endurance, stamina, I empower. Now, whether or not you guys selected this reading and you have a health thing, or whether or not you guys resonated more with what I was saying about career with Capricorn being there, I feel like the message is the same because it's all about your stamina, right? It's all about that long haul versus those short-term sort of instant gratification or allowing ourselves to get burnt out. Right? It's about creating practices that are more sustainable and kind of consider holistically, like not only your excitement and your drive for something, but is this right for your physical health and your body? So pile one, give me a second. I'm going to clear these cards off the table and we're going to get right into your charms. All right, pile one, let's jump into your charms and your dice. And it's also kind of interesting, just as a side note, that you guys selected the pink Himalayan salt and you have all of this kind of energy about rejuvenation and regenerating your body, because pink Himalayan salt is like a very purifying energy, right? Like it helps to sort of purify and cleanse the space. All right, so where are you guys expanding and growing? Ooh, okay. All right, so as you guys know, if it doesn't land like in anywhere, we're just like not going to take it. So you guys do have this little pentacle coming up here in love and relationships. Let's go ahead and get into your charms. Pile one, where are they growing and expanding? Oh, I forgot it. You have Aquarian energy here as well. So that's interesting. All right, pile one, where are they growing and expanding? I feel like that one wants to come out, so we're going to take it. We have this wheel. We have this key. Let's see. We have this coming up here. We have something here. Okay. All right. Let me just take a little look here. Pile one. So right off the bat, you have this little wheel here under the health and well-being section, which has to do with navigation. So I feel like this is about you kind of learning to navigate this area of life. And when I think of this is like the helm, right, of a sea, like a ship, right? And so when I think of a ship that's sailing through the ocean, it's not always going to be super smooth sailing 100% of the time, right? Because sometimes there can be really big waves, there can be a storm, there can be like sea animals, you know what I mean? Like I heard, remember, like there was that stuff going on with like the orcas attacking the boats, right? So you just never know. It can be like unpredictable at times. But I feel like through these practices that we talked about here of like learning how to be in tune with your body, learning how to manage your stamina and think of things in terms of long haul versus instant gratification, being more intentional with using your time, right? You guys are learning how to navigate this a lot better. It's like you're learning the tools and skills. That's part of what's expanding and growing for you, is learning tools and skills to navigate these matters much more smoothly than maybe you've been able to do in the past. You guys have a couple things coming up with home and family here. So let's see. So we've got this key here, which talks about unlocking spiritual knowledge or just unlocking something in general. This is interesting because it's also talking about caution. But it's kind of like bringing me back to my sea analogy here and sailing in the ocean, because this looks like the pirate flag to me. And so I kind of feel like part of this caution that's coming up under home and family, I think that it has to do with listening to the red flags, listening to your body, not trying to be everything for everybody. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is something that you guys are learning to get better with balancing as time goes on. This is also a part of what you are growing and expanding in at this time. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. I feel like it was something connected to, it could be too, like if you guys are really connected to your guides, your ancestors, they could be the ones that are kind of giving you these caution signs as well. So let's see. We have the letter X here under finances and wealth. So I'm wondering if there's something that you guys are like, we don't really get much about this in your cards, but an ex could literally be like an ex-partner, something about that with regard to your finances. But I'm also kind of seeing this energy of you signing something, because I think of how like on certain documents, when you go to sign it, sometimes they put an X next to the line that you're supposed to sign in. So there could be something you guys are signing there with regard to finances. Could be connected to a current partnership as well, because here we have this little pentacle, which has to do with finances. It also has to do with feeling supported. So I feel like a lot of you also, an area that you're really blessed in, you know, talking about Jupiter, it could have to do with your love life, like your romantic relationship. There's something fated about your partnerships here, where they support you not only with financial stuff, but also like, you know, the pentacle talking about feeling supported, feeling grounded, kind of going back into that Capricorn energy, right? That earth energy. This person, if you guys do have a person in your life, it's like they're here for the long haul, and they're kind of helping you to see the long-term picture versus the short-term gratification. Now, in the advice section, you guys have the squid, you have Aquarius, and then you have this clothespin here. So what are we getting from this? Squid also kind of, it's so funny you guys have this like nautical theme going on here. Maybe the squid is what's like throwing you off at times, because the giant squid is kind of like this like kind of scary predator in the ocean, right? Like it lives really deep into like the darkest parts of the ocean. I think its only predator is the sperm whale, right? Why I know this, I don't know. I guess I watch a lot of nature stuff sometimes. You guys have Aquarius, which also okay. I kind of feel like the squid is saying like, even an area that you guys could be continuing to expand would be like your shadow side, your shadow work, because I do feel that this group might be feeling a little bit impatient about something, and maybe there's something around that impatience that needs to be examined in order for you to get to this restrained, kind of more calm energy about things. But yeah, the squid is definitely making me feel like continuing to dig deeper spiritually, and even just to do with the well-being stuff is going to be really important. Continuing to dig deeper and kind of face the shadows. The clothespin is talking about being secure and like holding something down. So I think that ties in really well with the pentacle. I think it ties in well with our message about Capricorn. Continue to seek that security. Again, thinking more, what would the action that I take today make me happy tomorrow? Like, what does the future me want versus what does the me right now want? You know what I mean? It's that restraint of thinking about the long term versus the short term, which I feel like I've been repeating ad nauseum. Aquarian energy is really interesting coming up in advice, though, because this is kind of like about your individuality, right? It's about being unique, celebrating your uniqueness, and being kind of maybe a little bit rebellious about things, or kind of off the beaten path about things. Not being afraid to kind of question the status quo at times, I feel could be important as you're continuing to strive for that security. But I think especially with the squid, of you guys like kind of needing to dig deep and face the shadows, I think just continuing to be objective, continuing to be like detached, right? Because you guys had this woman, where is she? The woman holding a heart. So I feel like this is something that there's a lot of emotion that's wrapped up in for you. So I think with Aquarian energy, like being detached about it could be helpful, being logical, looking at the big picture, again, with like Capricorn, but also not being afraid to try new things, to be innovative. So pile 1, I feel like that reading really went all over the place because I really thought that it was more in the direction of career, but it seems like for most of you guys, this has to do with like home or like well-being in some way. Comment below. I would love to hear how you guys enjoyed the reading and how this may resonate with you. And of course, you can always check, where Jupiter is sitting in your natal chart and where it's currently transiting to get more insight into how this planet may be impacting you astrologically. But let me know how you guys feel about the reading. How does it resonate? If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you'll be updated when I post the next reading, and I'll see you there. Bye. Hey Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So we are looking to see where you are growing and expanding and receiving abundance, all inspired by Jupiter. Forgot to mention this in the intro, but we will also be working with charms and dice today. Make sure you guys stick around till the end till we get to that portion of the reading. I'm also going to have it timestamped so you can skip there if you would like to do that. So let's jump in and see what's going on for you guys, Group 2. So starting off, we have the 10 of Materials, which is the 10 of Pentacles. We've got the 8 of Voices, which is the 8 of Swords. Ooh, and then we have Leo energy coming up, keyword being shine. All right, so where are you guys growing and expanding? So I do feel with Leo kind of being at the heart of this reading, you guys are really, I think, stepping into a leadership energy, a leadership-oriented energy, or stepping into the spotlight. It doesn't have to be super public. Maybe for some of you it could be public. It could just have to do with you being looked to as more of the person in charge, more as a leader. And Leo is also about just like letting those qualities really shine, right? Letting your confidence shine, letting your expertise shine, letting your magnetic, dazzling personality that people are so drawn to shine. And I think with the 8 of Voices, there's some discomfort around that. I think there's some discomfort. There's some awkwardness around people watching you, or some awkwardness around being in the spotlight in some way. You guys could feel, because this almost looks like she's in jail or something to me. Like, she's like, oh, I'm just like frozen when I'm in the spotlight. It's giving stage fright energy. And so that's kind of normal, right? We're talking about Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet that makes everything bigger, right? So expansion can sometimes cause discomfort. That's kind of part of the process. And sometimes discomfort is the best way, I would argue the only way for us to really grow and evolve, is through getting a little bit outside of our comfort zone. So there could be a little bit of that you guys feel, a little teaspoon of discomfort, pile 2. But something about this energy is really blessing you in terms of your long-term success. 10 of Pentacles is kind of like that long-term material success. It could have to do with family ties, legacy. I'm getting inheritance from this for some of you, but this definitely has to do with kind of like either you stepping up as like a lead, like a matriarch or patriarch of your family, and the financial legacy around that. But I think it also for some of you can have to do with just your legacy in general, right? What do you want to be known for in this lifetime? And there's definitely something around the financial side of things that's being highlighted here for you. Like long-term investments, long-term, goals, things of that nature. Some of you guys could be like, I don't know, like I'm looking at this card and I'm seeing kind of these family members holding hands and standing around this tree that's really beautiful and abundant and prosperous, and it's roses on this tree. Pink and red, which symbolize love. For some of you, I feel like this really could have to do with, Because it's not just money, it's also love with the roses to me. I don't know where I was going with that, but let's continue. Let's pull some of these for clarifiers. So for pile 2, what else? Where are they expanding? Where are they growing? What else do they need to know about this energy? Pile 2. Ooh, we have strategy coming up. Love that. Ooh, yeah. Woman holding the coin, for sure. For sure. Something to do with your financial stability here. So strategy is kind of like you guys are expanding in the sense that you're coming up with a plan. And using that logic, that subject matter expertise that you have to really come up with a plan for the long term stability of yourself, your legacy, your family, your finances. All of these things are tied together for you. I'm also noticing here we have like this little compass. We have some coins here. We have a journal log here as well. So it's like there's a North Star. I feel like there's a goal that you all have in mind as you're coming into this reading. And this strategy, I think the money just keeps coming up. So there's definitely like a tie-in. I mean, that's pretty clear with money. It could be for some of you guys with the Eight of Swords that this could be an area where historically you felt a little bit out of your depth, right? It could be an area where you felt a little out of depth, like it's not your area of expertise in the past or something that you don't feel completely comfortable with. Because with that Eight of Voices next to the woman holding a coin, that's kind of what it's making me feel. I also feel for some of you there could be something about worthiness coming up. Like you don't feel worthy or you feel like awkward with this sort of energy of money for some of you. But the woman holding a coin talks about a female connection in money, health, or value. So this can be talking about your energy, right? And your own sort of, energy and like endeavors, rather, like we're picking up on here with this 10 of Wands and Leo. This could also be somebody that's supporting you in this area, providing assistance to you as well, like an advisor. So I think it's important to know with Leo, even though this is like a very independent energy of kind of standing out and being the one in charge, being the authority figure in some aspects, there could be people around you that are there to help that you may want to look out for as well, pile 2. Another thing that I forgot to mention with Leo is that this could also be some sort of a creative hobby or endeavor that's tied into this as well. So this could have to do with like a legacy around that. So let's continue though. What else does pile 2 need to know about this area that they are growing and expanding in, please? We have believe. Strange encounters. Ooh. That's kind of interesting. Strange encounters. Let's kind of look at that. I mean, believing is definitely giving the energy of believe in yourself. Believe in the impossible, right? So this talks about, all right. So when Alice and the unicorn meet in Through the Looking Glass, neither of them can quite believe what is taking place. For the unicorn, humans are legendary, particularly human children. He never quite believed they were real and thought them to be fabulous monsters. Alice, in her own way, says she never thought unicorns were real either, but there they are, two fabulous monsters, and they each must accept the reality of the other's existence. This could be taking place in your life at present. You could be meeting people whose experiences are most unlike those you've had thus far. You may be encountering spirit beings or mystical events that make you wonder at the very nature of reality itself. Once you've experienced the strange reality of people unlike yourself or of spiritual encounters with guides, visions, or prophetic dreams, you can no longer deny the existence of such things. Then your existence will seem just as strange to others. This card asks you to accept that others unlike yourself exist. They will then accept your differences too. In this way, we can begin to believe in each other and live side by side as different as we may be. You see, this card of the Ten of Pentacles, it's kind of the vibe, right? Like, a family is going to be filled with all different types of characters. You know what I mean? I know that all too well with my family. I'm sure we all have that in some capacity. The Ten of Pentacles, too, in my experience, can also talk about like when, let's say in a romantic partnership, we might have different beliefs or cultures or values around long-term legacy and how we handle finances and things like that. It can also be things like arranged marriages in my experience too. So those could also be some themes that are coming into play as well. But this card is talking about being able to accept the differences of others, the perspectives of others, in order to like broaden that acceptance of self through them. See, this even says mystic events and peculiar experiences, interacting with different cultures, customs, and belief systems, right? Discovering new places, environments, even climates that are different to you. So I feel like, we're talking about where you guys are growing and expanding, and it seems like there's a tie-in here with you all being able to experience different people, experience different cultures. Something about this is playing into your overall plan and your long-term goals. And it's also something that could be like challenging you as you are in the spotlight, right? Because maybe some of that makes you feel put on the spot in a way. If it's a background that you don't completely understand or that you're not completely familiar with that Eight of Voices. So let's continue. Pile 2. I'm already like rambling way too much. So pile 2. What else do they need to know? Where are they growing? Where are they expanding? Ooh, okay. So I guess both of these are coming out. Pink and purple. Love that. We have magenta, connect to your deepest inner knowing. And then we have lavender, connect to mind, body, and soul. So I feel like part of where you're going to be channeling your confidence, part of where you're going to be learning to grow more confident is like trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting those qualities that you hold innately within you. Connect to your deepest inner knowing. With the woman holding a coin, I do think there are some of you guys out there who know more than you realize that you know. Okay. And connecting to mind, body, soul is about like creating a strategy that feels aligned, right? That feels aligned, body, mind, soul, spirit. And also I feel like a calming energy from that lavender as well. Like I feel like the more that you guys can devise a strategy that feels aligned in these areas, the more at peace you feel and the less stress or self-doubt you have. Does that make sense? So let's grab a couple of these to close it out, and then we're going to move right into the charms. Pile 2. So where is pile 2 growing and expanding as the energy stands today? What do they need to know? Okay. We will take them. So we have the energy of passion. Rise, passion, rise up high. Inflame my purpose. Reach the sky. That beautiful pink energy kind of coming through here. And Leo as well. I mean, this feels like something that you guys have a lot of passion for, that you are really excited at the prospect of. I mean, it's like planning for your future. You know what I mean? For some of you guys, this could involve like a romantic partnership, because we see that here depicted in this card. We also have strength, which makes a lot of sense with Leo here. Strength, stability in this hour, endurance, stamina, I empower. Again, endurance it's asking you to think about the long term with the 10 of materials. So long term versus short term, which was kind of it was a message that was coming up a ton with pile 1's reading. So pile 2, let me clear off the table and we're going to get set up for your charms. All right, pile 2s. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to first go in with your dice. So what area are my pile 2 viewers growing and expanding in at this time? Blessings and abundance. Okay, so we are going to go with, we have Mars here. We have, it looks like Earth energy here. This is so funny. Leo popping up as well. And I don't typically take them when they don't land on the actual charm board, but it was here. It was kind of like right above the career energy, and I feel like that fits with your message, so we are going to take it. Pile 2. Let's grab some charms. So for pile 2, blessings, abundance, areas of growth and expansion coming up for pile 2. Oops. Okay. Oh, there it is. I see it here. All right. All right, so pile 2, we have lots of charms for you guys, actually. I see a couple that I haven't pulled before, so that's kind of exciting. I feel like for whatever reason, I feel like I need to just like get more charms. So if you guys have any that you recommend, let me know. All right, let's see. This little E is kind of in a random spot between home and family and between spirit self. That could be somebody's initials. So let's see. All right. So we've got a couple things coming up under finances and wealth. So we have the bell, which talks about news, and then we have this little teddy bear here. And the keyword that is on my little charm guide for the teddy bear actually says trauma, which I was not expecting to see with a teddy bear. I feel like this might actually be talking about childhood stuff. I'm not a specialist, like I'm not an expert on trauma. I'm not going to say that that's the right word. You guys may feel like that's the right word for your situation. But when I see the teddy bear, I think of childhood. And you guys did have this energy of the 10 of Pentacles, which can talk of, you know, generational themes, legacies. There's a bunch of children that we see here in this card, right? And maybe that's where some of this awkwardness is coming into play around like being in the lead and taking charge in this specific situation. So there's some sort of news that you guys are receiving, something around, I feel like, the management of this money or something around your, just like some news or some information that you're gathering. And I feel like this little teddy bear is signifying like it's connected to childhood for some of you guys. Now, you guys have a couple things coming up here in the health and well-being. So we have the clothespin, which talks about securing and holding something down. We have a crown, which talks about honor and respect. And then we have this little music note, the treble clef here, which talks about being in sync. So it's like, I kind of feel like whatever is going on with this situation, I think that you guys, where you're expanding is that you're learning not to allow it to impact your physical health or your mental health, right? That 8 of Swords can sometimes be like very mentally taxing when we're really in our head and kind of in those, like that place of self-sabotage, you know, where we feel kind of stuck. So it's like you're learning to, I feel like, stay in tune with your spirit, stay in tune with your body, stay in tune with your emotions, and making sure that you're in a space where you're respecting and honoring yourself, right? Making secure decisions based on respect and honor. And it's so funny because Leo is giving that crown energy as well, like sovereignty. Definitely can see that this is connected, though, to family in some capacity here. So you guys have the Star, which talks about dream fulfillment, which didn't we say in the strategy card, there was like that compass, some sort of North Star. So family is actually very much connected to this, which makes a lot of sense with the 10 of Pentacles. And then we have this little wheel, this helm, which talks about navigation, right? So I feel like this group, whatever's happening with the financial situation it's connected to family and it's connected to goals. Like it might be like, I'm not going to lie, with that teddy bear, I'm just wondering if you guys could be getting some sort of news or if you've received some sort of information coming into this reading that you were not expecting. That's kind of putting you in this position of leadership. But something about it, something about this financial situation, it seems like it's something that is helping you to achieve a long-term goal of yours, a long-term aspiration. It's interesting too because like we have Leo energy coming up under the career tab. So maybe that long-term aspiration, something about this, it's connected to your business, your career, could be entrepreneurship for some of you. Leo also talks about inner strength and confidence. So it could be helping you, even if it's separate from work, like this situation with family is making you more confident at work. But also like this could be a work situation for some of you where it's like you're in the lead. You're having to show your confidence, your leadership. And this is about almost like work-life balance and setting boundaries at work, I feel. All right, you guys have Earth energy here under social life and others, which talks about being grounded and centered. Again, I think this makes so much sense because you have others here in this like legacy family energy and it's Earth energy, right? So other people are definitely a factor here, whether this is like your actual family, your ancestors, like your extended family or your direct family, or it could have to do with your coworkers, businesses that you own as well. And then you guys have, I think this is Mars here. Let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure that's Mars. Yes. And this is under the spirit and self. Also, I think I mentioned this, the letter E is kind of like in between home and family and self. So this could be the initials of somebody here, significant to some of you. Passion, drive, and energy for self as well. I think that makes a lot of sense with Leo, right? Because this is passion, drive, and energy. So it's like you, my viewer, pile 2, where you're expanding is in your passion, drive, and energy for the work you're doing and the legacy you're planning, but also for yourself. Learning to be okay with being that person that's in the spotlight, the person, because Mars is like where we put energy into something, right? So this tells me that you guys are putting energy into yourself and it's trickling down into positive developments for your family and your financial situation and your well-being. Now, you guys have a couple that landed in the advice. So we have the playing cards and we have the squid. Okay. So the playing cards talk about something being faded. The squid is talking about like red flags. So what I'm guided to say here is I feel for a lot of you, this is like maybe a faded energy, like a faded, destined kind of situation, especially with the bells. It's giving like some sort of element of surprise for me for some reason. But with the squid coming up here, to me, this is about digging deeper, focusing on digging deep to understand, like with the teddy bear and the 8 of Swords, like what is it about this that's triggering, or what is it about this that's making you feel maybe a little bit awkward, or self-sabotaging, or like you have imposter syndrome or something like that. Digging deeper and facing those shadow aspects of self, I think, so that you're understanding yourself better, could be something to think about. And don't ignore red flags, especially if there seems like there's a red flag around this news that's coming up. Don't ignore the red flags. So pile 2, very interesting reading. I think we're going to go ahead and end your message here. Comment below. Let me know how you feel like this resonates and what you have going on. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so that you'll be updated when I post the next video. And I look forward to seeing you there. Bye. Hey Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you guys picked out this Pyrite crystal, this will be your message. And as I mentioned in the intro, we will be looking into what area of life you're growing and expanding in, what abundance or blessings are coming through for you in this area of life, all inspired by the planet Jupiter. Make sure you guys do stay till the end because I am going to be also working with charms and dice for your message. I'll have that time stamped as well, so if you like to just kind of skip to that part of the reading, you can do so. All right, so Pile 3, starting off your message, we have the energy of the High Priestess. We have the 10 of Wands. Ooh, and then we have this message of dignified. Ooh, I like this. Okay. So Pile 3, what area of life are you growing and expanding in? So I definitely see here with the dignified card being kind of at the center, there is this energy that I feel coming through for you that's going to feel really advantageous. You know, this dignified energy is all about being positioned in the best possible way and learning to kind of take advantage of positive surroundings and positive circumstances, or take advantage of, you know, like benefits, or take advantage of opportunities for you to be able to really like flex your skills. Okay, so definitely really beneficial energy here coming up for you guys. I do feel with the 10 of Wands coming up here, the 10 of Inspiration, this may require some heavy lifting, right? And the thing is, the thing that I'll say is like Jupiter, you know, this reading is inspired by Jupiter, and Jupiter is something that brings like luck and optimism and abundance and expansion. Expansion and growth, though, like can also be a little bit uncomfortable, which is what I was talking about with Pile 2 as well. Jupiter is like a massive planet, so it's going to like make everything bigger, which can sometimes be really good, but it can also sometimes be like too much of a good thing can be difficult to manage. So I do see this, the potential here for this to feel a little bit overwhelming, or like you've got a lot of work on your shoulders or a lot of things to do. But I think it's all about the way that you allocate the work, because I'm looking here, or allocate your efforts if it's not work. But you see how she has like all these cows lined up, and each of them are kind of carrying a little water jug, and she's carrying her own water jug, right? So it's like there could be the potential for you all to set yourself up to be able to be better equipped to handle all of the metaphorical water jugs that are coming up for you, okay? We also have the High Priestess here. So this tells me a couple of things. Whatever this is for you, Pile 3, I feel like you already know for some of you, because the High Priestess is like, you already know the answer. What does your intuition tell you, right? Look within, because you know where you're about to have some massive expansion in your life. This also can talk about spirituality and intuition, right? So something about what's coming through for you, Pile 3, could have to do with your intuition. It could have to do with growing in your spiritual practices. For some of you, there's like work tied into this as well. Maybe some of you guys are working in this field and things are going to be blowing up for you in some capacity. Let's continue. What else for Pile 3? What else do they need to know about this area of growth and expansion and abundance coming through for them? Sometimes that card can come up too when like spirit wants to be a little shady and be like, we're not telling you. So that could be also a thing too. Pile 3, like maybe you're not meant to know like the full details here, but just know that it's going to be creating a lot of work for you, but it's also advantageous. You know, like there's something about this dignified energy where it's like you're being put in like a really good position here to show your skills or to take advantage of something positive. So we have the Angel of Balance coming up. That's interesting that that's coming up. We also have door to romance coming up. What? Okay. That's what's up. So it's interesting the Angel of Balance is coming up because to me, that's kind of what I was getting with this 10 of Wands. It's like, I kind of feel that you guys are getting ready to like blow up in some capacity, have a lot of attention on you, or all of a sudden have some sort of work that you guys have to do. But it feels like it's positive. It doesn't feel like it's something that's like stressful that you guys don't want the success of. I think it's just the Angel of Balance is asking you to start thinking now about how you're going to have your resources better allocated to support the abundance that's going to be coming your way. Because however you guys manage to blow up, it's going to be positive. It's like a throne. Like you're going to be the spotlight in some way. But it's also creating a lot of work for you. Like for some of you guys, I almost feel like you're business owners or something like that could be coming up for you where like you're about to get an influx of clients or an influx of attention, and things are going to be hectic for you if you don't have the proper sort of things set up, like your website, your, schedule, like whatever it is for you. Does that make sense? The door to romance is cool too because it's like, this is about like opening up an opportunity for you guys to be able to do what you love. Okay. Doing what you love is super significant. And this is new. It's like a new door that's opening up for you. Now I'm going to pull it up because I kind of want to see if make sure I'm not missing anything. It talks about new beginnings in love. Okay. Whether you're looking for a new relationship or just more love in the relationship you're in, this door with a heart opens onto a new beginning in your experience. A new love may be arriving, and you are being brought together by a strong, resonant connection. This may be a call from a past life, or maybe a new tenderness about to bloom into heartfelt action. This relationship already exists in energetic potential, so when this card appears in your spread, make sure you're projecting the kind of self-love energy that you want to receive from others. Be aware that the universe returns your self-caring treatment to you. It's ready to open that door. Are you? There could be something about romance connected to this area for you as well. Pile 3. Yeah, and like this Angel of Balance it talks about remaining conscious about how you're balancing your goals with your physical and emotional energy as well. It's just so interesting. Like, to me, this feels a little, I don't know, let's keep going. It just feels a little bit random to the other cards that we're getting, pile 3. But something about love and romance is connected to this reading for you. So, I mean, let's take it. It's exciting. It could even be, too, that you guys just have so much going on. And that Angel of Balance is asking you to remember you also have this area of life that will need attention as well, you know? All right, pile 3. Where are they growing and expanding? What else do they need to know about this particular situation coming through for them? We have never jam today. Promises that never come to be, empty words, not living in the now. Do you see how she has a lot of stuff that she's holding on to? Like she has a lot of like accoutrements here, a lot of sweets, okay? And so this is talking about like not being able to like rise to the occasion. So it's interesting, pile 3, because I'm almost feeling for you guys, we're getting a little bit of that message of like too much of a good thing with Jupiter, right? Like to me, this is like kind of confirming what I was saying about the 10 of Wands, that like now is the time for you guys to be able to like start setting yourself up for this energy of blowing up in some way. And like this way you're able to really honor all the commitments and all the things that are coming your way. Otherwise, it might be like you're not prepared to receive this abundance that's coming through for you. I hope that makes sense. And this card caught my eye at the bottom of the deck, which talks about painting the roses red, which is covering up errors. And then underneath of this, we have keeping up, immense effort, and advance, right? So like, I think that the 10 of Wands can talk about being stressed too, like having a lot on your plate. So whatever efforts you guys are putting in right now are really important. But you also, I think, want to make sure that like you're staying balanced and that you're not missing. Because sometimes when we're in this energy of the 10 of Wands, we can be like so overly burdened that we're missing the details. Okay. So like, make sure you're paying attention to the details, I'm guided to say, pile 3. Let's continue. What else do you guys need to know? So for pile 3, what areas are they growing and expanding in for pile 3? What do they need to know? I just feel like that High Priestess is like taunting me in a way. It's like, you're not meant to know for some reason the full story here. Okay, pile 3. Where are they growing? Where are they expanding? We have Tangerine. Be spontaneous and have fun. Okay. That kind of makes sense with the Angel of Balance, right? Like, we have rose and we have white. So it's kind of interesting. Both of those popped out because they both make sense with what we are seeing with your cards. I think it's interesting that this is coming up because I feel like what I'm seeing is that you guys are about to be like doing a lot of work. Like there's something expanding for you in your career. It could be a creative endeavor. It could be a combination of both creative endeavor and like whatever you do in your day job, kind of both growing at the same time and just having a lot going on. Part of bringing in that balance is being able to have more fun, have more spontaneous excitement, you know, like offsetting work with some play, if you will. But then we also have the rose of attracting a relationship, which is interesting with the door to romance. So there's like an area of life you guys are expanding in with regard to love too, right? Like there's romantic energy, like a new opportunity for love and a committed relationship to come through for you guys. And white is talking about lightening up. So there's like a need here with that 10 of Wands for you to like take the load, lighten the load a little bit here. It's like overwhelmingly asking you to infuse more fun into your life. So this is the area of expansion and growth, pile 3. It's like having more fun and pulling in more balance. And maybe with that dignified card, what's coming through for you is like a unique moment in time where you're going to have a lot of stuff on your plate in terms of work and responsibilities, but there may also be opportunities coming through for you guys to be able to have fun or go on dates or meet a new romantic partner. And it's time to take advantage of those opportunities, right? So let's see. What else, pile 3? What else does pile 3 need to know about this area of expansion and growth for them? We have justice. By the power of 3 by 3, Mott deliver justice to me. So again, messages about balance and needing to stay balanced are coming through strong. There could be something to do with like, especially if you guys are resonating with the message I was getting earlier about like having a business. I think getting like, you know, your business official, right? Like an LLC or doing an S Corp or whatever, you know, you want to do, something like that, or something with like legalizing your business may be significant. Maybe not legalizing, but hopefully you guys get what I mean. Making it more official. We have success. Success that's true belongs to me. Success with honor and integrity. Beautiful energy. So pile 3, this looks really exciting and really promising. I'm going to go ahead and clear off the cards, and then we're going to transition into your charms. All right, pile 3. So let's go ahead and get started with your dice, and then we'll get into the charms. So tell us more, Spirit, about pile 3's area of growth and expansion that we are channeling today. What do they need to know? All right, so we've got the first quarter moon. I feel like that's kind of more here. We have the number 2. We have earth energy coming up. We have the 11th house. And I feel like this one and these did not really land anywhere, so we're going to get rid of those. Let's look at the charms. So for pile 3, clarifying energies, please. What areas of growth and expansion are coming through? What else do they need to know? All right, so we have a swan. It's so funny. A lot of these nautical themes are coming through, which is so interesting. Okay, so pile 3. What do you guys need to know? Well, definitely feels like there is, because, you know, we were kind of getting these messages about like romantic partnership and maybe not necessarily social life, but just like having more fun, right? Having more balance here. And I see these areas kind of coming up here as a focal area with the dice and the charm. So we've got earth energy coming up under love and partnerships. So this is talking about being grounded and being centered in a romantic relationship. It looks like there's a new opportunity that's coming up for you guys to either like re-engage with like an existing lover, or like that door to romance. I feel like for a lot of you, it's a new person, like a new situation coming up that's really meant to be something stable and permanent, something that has the potential to grow if you're willing to water that seed, right? It's giving kind of Ace of Pentacles vibes with that. But it's like a grounded and centered relationship, a romantic partnership that I'm seeing here. You guys also have the 11th house. So 11th house does talk about friendships. It talks about groups of people. So I definitely feel that there is an emphasis here on your social life as well. Your love life and your social life, your ability to connect with other people and groups. And it's interesting you guys have this little squid, because the squid, literally the key word on the little charm guide that I have, it's the squid is associated with threats, which is kind of interesting. So I feel like part of your message, pile 3, was about balance, right? The angel of balance, and learning to like move in the direction that feels balanced for you, seeking that harmony, right? So it could be like when it comes to social life, because you guys have this like romantic partnership energy coming up, we have some spiritual stuff coming up. It could be that you're not able to say yes to every single social invitation that you get. It could also be that maybe there are just certain people in your life, pile 3, like a lot of people may be coming into your life. And maybe this is about just kind of digging deeper, right? That's kind of the theme when it comes to the squid that I've been getting for a lot of the piles, is like, if you think of the giant squid, it's an animal that lives like in the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean, right? And so I think about like digging deeper when it comes to those relationships with other people, and really making sure that these groups, these people are aligned with you. But the thing about it is like a lot of the messages in your reading talk about like needing to take a lighter approach. You know what I mean? So it's okay to dig deep. Don't ignore red flags about people, but make sure that you're just focusing on having fun first. You know what I mean? I hope that made sense. I feel like I was rambling a lot. You guys have the little helm, little wheel, and then the little treble clef. So this talks about harmony, and it also talks about navigation. So I think kind of connecting to like the social life, especially with the squid, it's like you guys are learning to listen to your gut. Like you're listening to your body, you're paying attention to your mental health, and if it doesn't feel right, if it feels off, you're navigating away from that and into a space of harmony. If it feels good on the flip side, if it feels exciting, if it feels fun, if it feels light, you're navigating to that space as well, because that's bringing harmony into your life. You guys have under the home and family section, we have the first quarter moon, which talks about challenges, and it talks about taking action. So there's something about your home life kind of like I was getting here. Like, it just felt like you guys had, like, I almost wonder actually if this card is talking about like you overextending yourself socially with the squid. Like, I think you guys are about to be moving into a time where your social life is just really awesome. But there's going to be a need to set boundaries here. So there's something around your home life where you're taking action here. And I think it's going back to this 10 of Wands, like we were talking about earlier. Like, there's a need to kind of tie up loose ends right now, prepare for this like abundance and this expansion that's coming to you. And it seems to be connected to like your living situation or maybe like your community just in general. Now, you guys have the key, you have the swan, and the little number 2 there. So swan talks about loyalty. This is under the spirit and self section. So again, this makes a lot of sense because you guys had the high priestess coming up, which is a really spiritual card, right? It's all about listening to your intuition, trusting in your gut instincts. Okay, so loyalty to self, loyalty to what your spirit, your higher self is telling you. And the number 2 is talking about balance and harmony. This is a theme that continues to come up throughout your reading. Balance and harmony of self, balance of harmony in relationships. And the key is about like unlocking something, finding things out, spiritual wisdom as well. So I feel like you guys are really expanding in your spiritual wisdom through some of this social stuff and relationship stuff that's coming up for you. And it seems like it's going to be really exciting, pile 3. Hopefully this made sense. Hopefully you guys got something out of this reading. I feel like I was kind of all over the place with your pile 3, but we're going to go ahead and stop there. Please comment below. Let me know how this resonates and what you guys feel that you have planned and how this may tie into that. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so that you'll be updated when I post the next reading, and I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.